Well, welcome to another Frankenblend. This is episode 4, and we finally have all our recipes to go into the Elite 8 on our next show, episode 5, where 8 of these recipes, 4 of mine and 4 from subscribers, will compete against each other. So when we get right back, we're going to start out with 2 new recipes, both from subscribers. Okay, we're all set up for our last of our recipe creation, our Frankenblends as we call them. And just do a little housekeeping first. Everyone that submitted the recipes, we assume are subscribers. Only subscribers can enter the contest. Only subscribers can win one of the 2 bottles. And I don't have them with me, but you might remember it is an Eagle Rare and a McKenna 10-year. And if you come in first in the in episode 5 in the Elite 8, you get your choice of which one. And whoever comes in second will get the other bottle. So first and second bottles pretty much guaranteed. It's just a matter, do I get one of those bottles or do you? You must be 21, and the final prize will take an adult signature, and it will probably come via UPS, FedEx, something like that, not the United States Postal Service. So that being said, let's get into the competition. We have 2 new recipes, and I'm excited about. Both these recipes are 2-component, not 3-component recipes. So real straightforward, 50% of one and 50% of the other is going to make this mix. We're going to give it a rating, and between now and the next, before episode 5, I will put out the bracket based on those ratings of what's going against what. So you'll see that. Probably be like a PDF I'll put in a shareable file. So I'll put it in either the comments section or the community section. I don't know which is more appropriate, but anyways, you'll have access to it. You can load that up so you can follow along in episode 5, because we're going to go through those 8 pretty quick. It's just going to be one against another, next, one against next, until we get through all of them, and they'll advance, and my wife is going to be assisting me. So no shenanigans. We're going to pick the best one, and for me, it will be a blind. I won't know which ones are going against which. I will just know which ones are advancing. So that being said, let's get into recipe number 7, which was submitted by YouTube username Brand B. But Brand B submitted something that I quite like. I've been drinking for years now, and that would be Buffalo Trace. Now, I picked the single barrel Buffalo Trace because we're still in July, which is store pick month, and this Buffalo Trace happens to be a store pick. So that's 50% of the recipe. What did Brand B put in for the rest to pop it up a notch? That would be Benchmark. So Buffalo Trace single barrel, which is a 90 proof, I think. And Benchmark full proof, which should be 125. That should definitely get up to proof, and maybe the flavor. And they're both Sazerac products, so this will be real interesting. Should be really complementary flavors in that recipe. So we'll start with the Buffalo Trace, and because it's just 2, I think we'll do 2 ounces, so make sure we have enough for our bottle. That looks good. I want to pour it in my glass because I want to drink it. Patient, Mike. Patience. All right, let's stir this up. I wanted to thank all the people that entered their recipes. I know that we've sent out some sample packs representing those. We won't have any sample packs tonight because there's no more recipes coming in. If your recipe is being used, then you have a chance to win something a lot better than a sample pack. You have a chance to win a 10-year-old bourbon, an Eagle Rare, or a McKenna 10-year. And I think they're both wonderful bourbons. I kind of go back and forth between which one I like better. Most times it's the Eagle Rare, but then every once in a while I really like that McKenna. So we're just going to pour a little bit in here. I can always pour more. And let's see what the aroma's like. Well, that foolproof really comes through. That benchmark is overwhelming the Buffalo Trace, and it's 125, right? Cheers. The benchmark is taken over the palate. That proof is still coming through. I mean, I really, maybe a slight bit of ethanol. I mean, just a micro thin amount of ethanol, but mostly typical molasses, brown sugar, a little bit of oak, a little bit of sweetness. Very traditional bourbon. Certainly not as smooth as my Buffalo Trace single barrel, which I love. I think it's this particular single barrel, it is a lot better than just the standard Buffalo Trace. I really love it. I ended up getting a backup of this particular single barrel in my vault, my whiskey vault. I just think it's a very good, it's the best Buffalo Trace that I have as far as that goes. It just stands out so much more than the standard. And a lot of single barrels do, if the right person is picking them. Let's take one more taste and we're going to score this puppy. I think overall, 3.5 stars. This particular, we're doing 50-50 or equal proportions. If I'd actually done this like in just mixing it for myself, 2/3 of the Buffalo Trace and 1/3 of the benchmark, I think it would have given a little more pop, which I like. I like a lot of bourbons above 100 proof, or 100 at a minimum 100. So it would have raised that proof. It would have maybe given a little more intensity of flavor, but the Buffalo Trace would still, that richness that's in the Buffalo Trace and smoothness. I'm going to cleanse my palate, and when we get back, we're taking a recipe from somebody famous, somebody you may know. And who that is? Dave Vogelsang. Be right back. Okay, we're back for recipe number 8 from one of our benefactors, one of our supporters, one of our channel members, Mr. Dave Vogelsang. And Dave is the returning champ. Dave had an automatic spot in this contest because he won it last year. And I don't remember what the recipe was, but we'll put that on the bottom of the screen. It actually won the competition last time. So this time he had a number of suggestions. A couple was, you know, Dave's got a, I don't know, he's got a whiskey vault the size of a Walmart, I think. And he recommended one thing of like, I don't have, like, he had just like 3 things. I don't have any of them. So I came back to him and said, Dave, it's, you know, shelf, me, shows, pick something I have. And he did pick something, and I thought it was very interesting. It's one of my favorite ASW, which is an Atlanta distillery, ASW Fiddler products. You know it, you love it, you've seen it on this channel. It is the Fiddler Georgia Heartwood. It's this single barrel. So we're kind of going with the theme here. It's another store pick. This one's from Roswell Beverage. I've got another one in the whiskey vault from Sprayberry Bottle Shop, and each single barrel being different, I plan on tasting this one against the other one and see how different they are. But this one I've been enjoying for a little while. It is a Was it, let me think here, about 107 proof? Nice. No, 117. I'm not thinking there. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, 117. So what did Dave come up with to go against something that is a little proofy and, I mean, super rich, super flavorful? He didn't go down in proof that much. If you know Dave, he likes the high proof stuff. So what did he come up with? Not one of my favorites, but I've never had it mixed with something like the Georgia Heartwood, and that would be the Old Granddad 114. So we're definitely keeping it up there around 115 or so proof, which is, I'm okay with that. My cap is around 115. I tend to not drink things over 120 unless it's for the show, or I'm mixing it or proofing it down with some limestone water, because I just don't enjoy drinking bourbon over 120. I'm 100 to 115 most nights. Sometimes I sneak it up a little bit. Tonight we're going to sneak it up a little bit. So we've already, if you haven't seen this, this is, my pen's not writing too good, but this is recipe 7 from brand B, and it will go over here with the other 6 for our next Frankenblend, with typically in 2 weeks, but I'll let you know on the bottom of the screen here when, or at the end of the show, when that episode 5 is actually coming out, because we've got a lot going on right here in the Bourbon Mansion. So we'll start out first with the Old Granddad 114, and we'll do the same amount. I think I had a lot left over, so this time we'll do about 1.5 ounces. I think will be plenty. That stuff is so dark. If you don't know the story about Georgia Heartwood, go on the ASW Fiddler website, and there's either a section or a video that they show how they make the char that they use to go in it, and it's staves. What's the biggest damn staves I've ever seen? It's like pieces out of your fireplace. They're so damn big. It's not these little slats you see with Maker's Mark. No, these damn things are huge. But man, do they do a job. So pour that in. Yeah, I would tell you that the Georgia Heartwood was my favorite, and that's just because I love the chin music so much. The chin music is their wheated bourbon, and I think it's 100 proof, and I just love that chin music. There's 2 chin musics, a red label and a blue label. I think the blue label was their rye. They called it the same thing. But if you look for it, look for the red label chin music. It's wonderful. And I don't know, $70, 69, 79, something like that. I can't remember. It's not real expensive, and it really is good. So I need another glass. That one right here. So let's see what this one smells like. I'm thinking the Georgia Heartwood. That has got such a smoky flavor to it with that char. I'll bet you that comes through. Oh yeah. Yeah, I smell that Heartwood. When I say smoky, it's got it's a lot of char in the taste. And so maybe smoky's not the right description. But you get that toasted oak goodness. Cheers. Oh my God. And I don't say that lightly. That is delicious. I was never a big fan of, I thought it was okay. I didn't say it was a bad bourbon or a nasty bourbon. It's just a little too nutty for me. And 114, I don't drink bourbon because of the proof. I wasn't that big of a fan of the flavor. I'm a big fan of this. Don't tell me Dave's done it to me again. I got 4 entries in this contest. He's got 1. And he just blew past a couple of mine. But it'll be in a blind. I don't remember last time we did it in a blind. But this time, all 8 of them are in a blind. They make a break against their competitor. In a seated, this one's going to be seated pretty high, I think. But still, in a blind, anything can happen. Let's take another sip. Very rich. I mean, frickin' rich, off the scale rich. If there was a scale for that, it would be like, stuck. I would never have thought to pair the two. Why would I ruin a good Georgia Heartwood? This is different than the Georgia Heartwood. It actually made it into a new whiskey. A very good whiskey. 4 1/2 stars. I think I got one other that's a 4.5 right now. So, wow. This is definitely going to have a high seeding in the tournament. That was excellent. Excellent recipe, Dave. Good research. Wow. You know my palate. You know how much I love this one. Good research, Dave. So, wow. The teams are complete. The Elite 8 is set. We got 8 recipes going against each other in the next episode. And 2 recipes, first and second, will get a bottle. I'm hoping I'm one of them. Not looking real good right now. So we hope you will like this video, comment, and share. And come back for the final, episode 5, where we put all these in a blind and see who wins that Eagle Rare or McKenna 10-year. As always, never drink and drive. Please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time.